Goals. That's the most goals ever scored in a single World Cup. It happened in 1998, 2014, and 2018. For 26 years, that number has stood as the ceiling. But here's the thing about ceilings: when you add more games, weaker teams, and exhausted defenders, they don't hold. They shatter. The 2026 World Cup isn't just going to break the goals record, it's going to obliterate it. And by the time you finish this video, you'll understand exactly why. Let's put 171 goals in perspective. That's 2.67 goals per match across the entire tournament. In 2014, Germany scored 18 en route to the title. James Rodriguez won the Golden Boot with just 6. The record exists because 32-team tournaments have a natural balance. The group stage filters out the weak, and the knockout rounds get tight and tactical. 171 is the ceiling because elite defenses show up when it matters. But 2026 isn't a 32-team tournament anymore, and that changes everything about how goals get scored. This is the core argument. More teams means more lopsided matchups. In a 32-team World Cup, the weakest team is usually ranked around 50th in the world. In 2026, with 48 teams, that floor drops to teams ranked 70th, 80th, even 100th. And the difference between the 10th ranked team and the 70th ranked team isn't subtle. It's 3, 4, 5 goals per game. Add 16 extra teams playing 40 extra matches, and the goal math writes itself. More minnows means more blowouts means more goals. There's a myth that weak teams always park the bus and keep scores low. The reality is different. Once a team goes 2-0 down, they have to push forward. And when a team ranked 90th pushes forward against a team ranked 10th, the gaps that appear are lethal. In 2022, Costa Rica conceded 7 against Spain. Iran conceded 6 against England. These aren't anomalies, they're what happens when the gap is just too big. Now imagine those mismatches happening 16 more times across the tournament. The 2026 format uses 16 groups of 3 teams. Each team plays 2 group matches instead of 3. That changes the scoring math in a sneaky way. With 3 team groups, you typically get 1 elite team, 1 mid-tier team, and 1 minnow. The elite team plays both weaker teams. That's 2 matches where a top 10 nation faces a bottom 40 nation. In a traditional 4-team group, that elite team only gets 1 such matchup. The concentration of weak opponents per group is higher, and that means more goals per group. Here's a number that doesn't get enough attention. A 32-team World Cup has 16 knockout matches. The 2026 World Cup will have 32 knockout matches. That's double the elimination games. And knockout matches, especially early round ones, produce goals. Teams that trail in a knockout have to attack. There's no next game. In 2018, the round of 16 alone produced 22 goals in 8 matches. Now imagine a round of 32 with 16 matches, all featuring teams fighting for survival. The knockout goal total could jump by 40 to 50%. There's a hidden factor that nobody's talking about. The 2025-26 club season is going to be the most congested in history. The new Champions League format adds 4 extra matches. The Club World Cup expansion adds 7 more for top clubs. Some players will play over 70 matches before the World Cup even starts. And here's the thing about fatigue: it breaks defenders first. Attacking play relies on individual brilliance. Defending relies on team organization, concentration, and communication. All 3 collapse when players are exhausted. Fresh attackers against tired defenders is a recipe for goals. The 5-sub rule is permanent now, and it's the perfect weapon for goal inflation. Here's why most teams use their 5 subs to bring on attackers. In the 75th minute, when defenders have run 10 kilometers and their hamstrings are screaming, the attacking team brings on a fresh forward who's been resting on the bench for an hour. The defending team's substitutes are usually defenders replacing other tired defenders. The net result? Fresh, fast attackers running at gassed, slow defenders. In the 2022 World Cup, 37% of all goals came in the last 20 minutes. 5 subs will push that even higher. History is on our side here. Every time FIFA expanded the World Cup, goals went up. In 1982, they went from 16 to 24 teams. Goal total jumped from 81 to 146. In 1998, they went from 24 to 32 teams. Goal total jumped to 171, a record that still stands. The pattern is undeniable. More teams equals more goals. The only reason every expansion hasn't broken the record is because some formats had fewer matches overall. But 2026 adds 40 extra matches. The trending line points in one direction straight up. Not all groups are created equal. Some are going to be goal fests. Look for groups where one elite team draws two weak opponents. A theoretical group with Brazil, Canada, and New Zealand could produce 10-plus goals from Brazil alone. Groups with European mid-tier teams or trickier European teams defend well even when they're weaker. The real goal mines are groups featuring CONCACAF, AFC, or CAF minnows against South American or European giants. When you see a group with one superpower and two developing nations, you found the gold mine. The 2026 World Cup features a golden generation of attackers. Kylian Mbappé will be 27, right in his prime. Erling Haaland finally gets his World Cup debut. Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham, Lamine Yamal, these are players who can score from nothing. Put them against a team ranked 80th, and they don't need team organization. They need one moment. And with more group matches against weak opponents, these stars will pad their stats in a way no previous generation could. Don't be surprised if the Golden Boot winner scores 10-plus goals for the first time since 1958. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Some analysts argue that modern defending is too sophisticated for a goal explosion. They'll point to 2022, which had 172 goals, barely above the 1998 record. They'll say defensive systems are better, goalkeepers are better, analytics have killed chaos. Here's why they're wrong. The 2022 tournament had only 8 new teams compared to 2018. The defensive leap from 32 to 48 is fundamentally different. You're not adding 8 competent teams, you're adding 16 teams that have never been to a World Cup before. To be fair, let's consider the counter-arguments. 1 weak teams could park the bus harder than ever. 2, the 3-team group format might produce more tactical, cautious matches. 3, VAR and offside technology keep strikers in check. 4, the tournament's summer timing in North America means hot conditions that slow the game down. These are valid points. But here's the key: none of these factors are new. Teams have been parking the bus for decades. VAR existed in 2022. Heat affects both teams equally. The one new variable is 16 extra teams, and that variable overwhelmingly favors attackers. Let's do the math. 104 matches total. If the goals per game average stays the same as 2022, 2.69, you get 280 goals. That's insanely high, so let's be conservative. Assume the 32-team portion of the tournament produces the same 2.5 goals per game as recent World Cups. That's 64 matches at 2.5 calcs, 160 goals. Then assume the 40 new matches, the extra group games and knockout rounds, have weaker teams and produce 3.0 goals per game. That's 40 at 3.0 clallers, 120 goals. Total, 280. Even at 2.5 for all 104 matches, you get 260. The most conservative estimate I can make is 200 plus. What does a 200-plus goal World Cup actually look like in practice? It means a goal every 4 minutes of game time across the tournament. It means the group stage alone produces more goals than entire World Cups used to. It means we'll see hat tricks in the group stage, probably multiple. It means the Golden Boot winner could score 10 goals without reaching the final. It means every match day will deliver highlight reel moments. Statistically, 200 goals across 104 matches is 1.92 goals per match. But the distribution won't be even. We'll see 5-0 and 6-1 scores alongside tight 1-0 games. Every great World Cup is remembered for its moments. Maradona's run in 1986, Zidane's volley in 2002, Messi's final in 2022. And here's the connection: memorable moments usually involve goals. With 200-plus goals across 104 matches, the 2026 World Cup will have more iconic moments than any tournament in history. We'll get the first hat trick by a debutant, the first 5-goal game by a single team in the knockout rounds, The first time a Golden Boot race goes down to the final match with 3 players tied. More goals means more history being written. Here's why this matters beyond the statistics. Goals are how we remember World Cups. The 2014 World Cup is remembered as an all-time great, not because of the tactics, but because of the goals. 171 goals created an unforgettable tournament. The 2010 World Cup is remembered as defensive and boring. 145 goals, the lowest in the modern era. Goals determine legacy. A 200-plus goal World Cup in 2026 won't just break records, it will change how the tournament feels. Every match day delivers drama. Every round produces moments. The expanded format's biggest gift isn't more teams, it's more memories. So here's the takeaway. The 2026 World Cup is going to be the highest scoring tournament in history. Not because FIFA planned it that way, but because the math forces it. 48 teams, 104 matches, exhausted defenders, 5 subs, weaker opponents, more knockout rounds. Every single factor points to more goals. Watch the groups with 1 giant and 2 minnows. Watch the round of 32 when desperation meets fatigue. And watch the Golden Boot race. It might be the closest we've ever seen. The goals record isn't going to be broken in 2026. It's going to be destroyed. If you want to understand which groups will be goal mines and which stars will benefit most, click the video on screen now.